Hello students, good evening to all of you all. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the online session. I hope you all can hear me clearly and see the screen clearly. Am I audible to you all? Okay, Putha. So let's go into the discussion. Actually, this is a continuation of our seminar part. Already we have covered 2 days of, I think almost 6 hours of lesson related to plant reproduction, vegetative propagation, artificial vegetative propagation, with the involvement of human, without the involvement of human, budding, grafting, stem cutting, tissue culture, then natural vegetative propagation by root, stem, bulbil, comb, eva, then sexual reproduction of plants related to the flower, male flower, female flower, bisexual flower, monoecious, dioecious, self-sterility, pollination. After pollination, what happens to the flower, how the flower becomes the fruit, and then fruit has to be dispersed, dispersal by wind, water, animal, explosive mechanism, and then germination. We completed all that, and then we started with the male reproductive organ, naming and learning all the functions and the secondary sexual characteristics of male. And the last topic which we discussed was female reproductive organ and the naming of that and the features and functions, and finally female secondary sexual characteristics. In that, the last point we discussed is when the female secondary sexual characteristics, when that puberty starts, menstrual cycle starts. So that was the last sentence which we discussed. So from there, if you are continuing, today our first topic will be menstrual cycle. So this is a cyclic process associated with the reproductive system of sexually matured female. Sexually matured female means once they reach the puberty, we call it menarche. Okay. This cycle is known as the menstrual cycle. Normally, now we are going to talk about the general one, 28 days. But for many people with the modern world and with all the food habits and all the hormones and medicines and artificial, everything is artificial. This is totally changed. Okay, whatever we study in the book, in real life, I don't think even 1 out of 10 will have that exact method which we discuss in the book, because with the lifestyle changes nowadays, menstrual cycle, there is a lot of problems. Because I'm in the medical field, we know there is many issues related to that. Anyways, completion of one menstrual cycle takes approximately 28 days. So menstrual cycle starts from puberty, from menarche, and continues until menopause. Okay, this from this period onwards, menstrual cycle won't occur. So therefore, there won't be fertilized eggs. So after this, a lady cannot become pregnant. So that is normally around 50 to 55 age. So here they have given 48 to 55. So normally nowadays, from 45 onwards, this periodic, this menstrual cycle will become very weak, and by 50, 55, totally it will be stopped. Menstrual cycle stops after reaching menopause by the age of 48 to 55. Okay. The pair of ovaries release ova alternatively. That means first 28 days, right side ovary will release an egg. Next 28 days, the left side will release. So it happens alternatively. The whole process of the menstrual cycle is associated with two locations. This is very important. Many people think menstrual cycle means it has to bleed and stop and again bleed and stop and like that. But this has two parts. One is happening in the ovary. Okay, that is known as the ovarian cycle because it is happening in the ovarian cycle. The other one is happening in the uterus. That is like the womb. That is known as the uterine cycle. This ovary is in a different place. Uterus is in a different place. But the pattern which it happens, both have a correlation. Both are happening for 48 days. I will explain this very clearly. Okay, don't worry. Sometimes this menstrual cycle, even the girls who get the menstrual cycle, they are the people who get the menstrual cycle. Boys don't know what the menstrual cycle is. Even the girls who get the menstrual cycle, they can't sometimes understand the mechanism of this. Because sometimes in certain places, when the teachers explain or in the textbook, they have not clearly mentioned how it is happening. So I am going to show the ovarian cycle and the uterine cycle together in one diagram, and I'm going to correlate the things with you. Okay, so we'll see how that's going to happen. So this is that chart. Okay, this is related to the ovarian cycle, and this is related to the uterine cycle, and related to that, how the body temperature changes, hormonal changes, estrogen, progesterone, hormonal changes, all that I will explain. But now if I try to explain, you won't understand this. So first we'll learn what is the ovarian cycle separately, and then we'll learn what is the uterine cycle separately, and then we'll correlate both. Okay, so this is a 28-day cycle. This is the 14th day of both. Okay, Naputa. So don't worry. After explaining individually what is ovarian cycle and uterine cycle, we'll come back to this and I will correlate the similarities and the differences. Hariputa, changes occurring within the ovary, that is the ovarian cycle. Development and release of the ova are carried out by the ovary. We know that, no? Ova develops. Can you all remember primary follicle, secondary follicle, Graafian follicle? When we study about the features of ovary, we studied, no? There are two phases that occur in the ovary, follicular phase and luteal phase. Remember, follicular phase is controlled by FSH hormone, follicular stimulating hormone. LH phase is initiated and sometimes it is controlled by luteinizing hormone. So, luteal phase, luteinizing hormone. Follicular phase, follicular stimulating hormone. The starting letters are similar. Keep that in mind. So, in the follicular phase, what happens? Okay, first we'll read and after that I will explain it to you. In the initial phase, which occurs due to the stimulation of the follicular stimulating hormone, FSH is secreted by the pituitary gland. Okay. FSH stimulates, you will ask what is this pituitary gland, because grade 11 students, they know. Okay. In our brain, okay, if this is our brain, there is something called the hypothalamus. On the hypothalamus, there is a small gland called pituitary gland. That is very, very important. It is producing the growth hormone. It is producing FSH hormone, LH hormone, and many other hormones. Okay, it is a small part in the brain. So from the brain, the hormone travels and comes and acts at the ovary. Okay. FSH is secreted by the pituitary gland, which is present in the brain. FSH stimulates, listen to this carefully, one primary follicle to mature into secondary follicle and then into the Graafian follicle. Here they are given the first part and the last part. Okay. Which is ready to release an ovum out of the ovary. This takes 14 days. So this follicular phase, the first phase, is 14 days. Luteal phase is 14 days. 14 plus 14, 28 days. During this phase, ovary secretes estrogen hormone. Keep that in mind. Yeah, I'll give a PDF also for this lesson, Putha. Okay. Estrogen hormone. During that phase, ovary only secretes estrogen hormone. So keep in the mind, this pituitary secretes FSH and LH. Ovary secretes progesterone and estrogen. In this first 14 days, it is more estrogen. Keep that in mind. And then, Buddha, now we'll go to the picture and then I will explain. Every month, remember, every month, alternatively, 1 month on the right side, then the other 28 days on the left side, left side, like that alternatively. In the menstrual cycle, what happened? First 14 days, one of these primary follicles, these are primordial follicles, there are many, 200,000 primordial follicles are there already present in the ovary. Out of that, one will be selected and then that will mature. When maturing, it will grow. This is happening due to what? Follicle stimulating hormone. From the word itself, you can understand it is stimulating the follicles to grow. These are the follicles. So it will grow into secondary follicle and then it will grow to the Graafian follicle. So primary follicle to secondary follicle to Graafian follicle. And on the 14th day, due to the release of large amount of LH hormone, that is the starting of the next cycle, luteinizing phase, the ending day of the follicular phase And the starting day of the luteinizing phase, what happens on the 14th day, this Graafian follicle will blast and ova, the egg, the female gamete will be released out from the ovary. Understood? Then next 14 days, what will happen? The remaining part of the Graafian follicle will become corpus luteum. That corpus luteum will be maintained, and if pregnancy doesn't occur, it will become corpus albicans. Okay. If pregnancy occurs, corpus luteum will be maintained until the child is born, because we have to stop the menstrual cycle during pregnancy. During pregnancy, a lady won't get the menstrual cycle. After the child is born, only again her menstrual cycle will start. So during pregnancy, this will be maintained. But if pregnancy doesn't occur, it will be converted to corpus albicans. That is the next 14 days. So we'll now read about the next 14 days, luteal phase. In this final phase, which is due to the stimulation of luteinizing hormone, LH is also secreted by the pituitary gland. Okay. LH stimulates the Graafian follicle to mature, and then it ruptures and releases the ovum to the outside. I told you by the end of the follicular phase and the starting of the luteal phase, that when the luteinizing hormone comes only, the Graafian follicle will blast and release the ova. That releasing of ova is given a special name, ovulation. It is known as ovulation. And then it ruptures and releases the ovum to the outside. The remaining particles of the Graafian follicle, after releasing the ovum, becomes the corpus luteum. I already showed you the picture of the corpus luteum, methane corpus luteum. So corpus luteum will be maintained for some time, maybe 10 days. And after that, if pregnancy doesn't occur, it will become corpus albicans, that is very small structure, and get destroyed. There is a question, have you completed hydrostatic pressure in your class? Yes, Puta, done. We completed hydrostatic pressure today morning. We completed, and then we started chemical reactions, changes in matter today. Hurry, then we'll discuss this. The released ovum. Okay. The released ovum is directed into the fallopian tube by the finger-like projection called the fimbriae. Okay. That is a different story. Yes, Mohan. Okay, Vita, sorry. So projection called the fimbriae. Now this one, I'll explain this here. Already we have explained in that last week's session, where when the ova is released, that is captured by the fallopian tube. No, fallopian tube starting part has fingers that will catch it. In another picture, I will show you. If the ovum is not fertilized during its travel through the fallopian tube, then corpus luteum, I told you, if the pregnancy doesn't occur, if fertilization doesn't occur, pregnancy doesn't occur, corpus luteum is converted into another structure called the corpus albicans. Later, this corpus albicans fades away. This whole process takes 14 days to complete. So, during this phase, ovary secretes progesterone hormone. So, first 14 days, estrogen hormone is more. Second 14 days, progesterone hormone is more. Give me 1 Hello, students. Give me about 5 minutes. I will continue. Give me 5 minutes. Hello students. Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. Let's continue. The During this phase, the ovary. Sorry, during this phase, the ovary secretes progesterone. Earlier 14 days, estrogen. Then next stage, for next 14 days, progesterone. Okay. If fertilized, sorry, if fertilization occurs, then corpus luteum is maintained as it is. I told you with the picture, I think it is easier to explain. On the 14th day, release of ova. Then there is another story for ova. It will go through the fallopian tube and it might undergo fertilization. That means pregnancy occurs, sperms will come and ova will meet the sperm and fertilization will occur. If that occurs, this corpus luteum will be maintained until the end of pregnancy like that itself. But if pregnancy doesn't occur, within few days of release of the ova, pregnancy should occur. If the sperms are not there at that time, then no pregnancy. Then what will happen after some time? Corpus luteum will become corpus albicans and this will become small, small, small and get degenerated because now no use of that. Understood? So first 14 days, second 14 days of the ovarian cycle. Okay. First 14 days is known as follicular phase. Second 14 day is known as luteal phase. Any doubts? Corpus luteum, does it enlarge? Now, this is the early stage of corpus luteum. After that, it will become more strong, matured. He will think our pregnancy is going to occur. But if no pregnancy occurs, then all hopes are lost. He will become degenerated. Okay, in the mid stage, he will become like little bit bigger and then he will shrink off. Sir, when does bleeding occur? Yes. This is Pudha totally related to ovary. Now we'll go to the next cycle, which happens in the uterus, uterine cycle. Okay. Changes that takes place in the uterus. This is known as the uterine cycle. Changes occurring within the uterus of the mature female can be studied under three phases: menstrual phase, proliferative phase, secretory phase. So, Pudha, before going into it, can you all remember the picture of the female reproductive organ? So this is the structure of the female reproductive organ. This is the vagina through which the penis is inserted, and we have the cervix. Above the cervix, this is a muscular structure known as the uterus. Last week we studied, no, the upper part of the uterus is known as the fundus, and this is the body, and this is the cervix. So, Buddha, this is the fallopian tube. And this is the finger-like projection of the fallopian tube. So, ovary is connected to this. One ovary on the right side, one ovary on the left side. Now, we studied the ovarian cycle, right? That ovarian cycle is related to this inside part only. When ovulation occurs, the ova will be released and the ova will be traveling through this. Here only pregnancy can occur, fertilization can occur. Now we are going to talk about this whole muscles. This is the uterus, or in other words, womb. The things or changes happening inside the womb is only known as uterine cycle. Haridapudha, now clear, no? Two different objects, ovary and uterus. Now we completed the ovarian cycle with two phases, 14 day, 28 days. Now uterine cycle, first phase is known as the menstrual phase, where the uterine wall, the thing which I drew, the walls will break and the blood will come out through the vagina. This initial phase in which the wall of the uterus is broken down and expelled through the vagina. This happens due to the reduction of progesterone levels. Because first, I will correlate, then I will talk about the hormones. Progesterone level will reduce, then the walls will break. This takes place for about 4 to 7 days. Okay, 4 to 7 days. So we'll keep it as first 4 days of the menstrual cycle, of the uterine cycle, is the menstrual phase. If fertilization had occurred previously, then this phase doesn't happen during until parturition. That means if fertilization occurs in the earlier menstrual cycle, if fertilization occurs, the next menstrual cycle will be stopped until the child is born. After that only it restarts. Then second, we have the proliferative phase. So I can say, according to this picture, the first 4 days, wall of the uterus will break, and that only comes as blood, as menses blood. Okay, so we know females once a month they have this very uncomfortable situation. Okay, so sometimes even the boys, they don't know, they make fun of the girls when they are having this headache and mood swings, and they make fun of this. That should not happen, because boys don't know about this, no, so they are just making fun. Okay, every lady, treat every lady like your mother or sister. Okay, every lady will undergo this now, especially teachers. I don't know, these male boys are giving so much headache to the teachers, especially when they have these menses and all. It's very hard for them to control the class. Okay, and when you all are shouting, they get a headache. Normally, they get absent to school because they can't. Because you all are giving so much of trouble, they can't. So therefore, and also Buddha, now these things in other countries, they are openly speaking. Okay, so the boys know that girls undergo this, and if a girl needs help during this situation, a boy has to help. In Sri Lanka, we don't talk about this now. So for us, all these are either funny things or dirty things. We take it in two ways. Make a mara joke, nathang make a jarawa. Okay, we look at it in that perspective. If the menses didn't happen, how will you and me have been born today? Because of that menses only, we are born today. Because of menstrual cycle only, pregnancy is occurring. Because of pregnancy only, you and me, we are here today. Okay, as boys, you have to understand that. So this, you can make fun of girls like just, but in these topics, don't make fun of them. Okay, because sometimes certain girls will be very uncomfortable. They have to rush to the washroom. Then you all are going and telling one things, bathroom yana baba ham. Don't go into that extreme. Okay, because I have seen this in some mixed schools and all. Okay, so when I go to the seminars, the teachers tell me, see, these boys don't respect the girls, and then I explain this and I tell them, this is why you are born here, because our mothers had this only. We were born to the world. So respect another girl also like your mother in this particular aspect. So once the wall is broken, it's very painful, huh? Very painful. The wall breaks, the full body gets cramped, their mood changes, hormonal changes occur, and it breaks, and all the broken pieces and the blood go out through the vagina. Okay. So at those stages, girls have to wear something very protective so that the blood doesn't spill, and it's very embarrassing and all. No, so that's why you have the certain sanitary pads and sanitary wares, so that you are not exposing this to the outside. There is a question: what is dysmenorrhea during menstrual? Dysmenorrhea is a word given to painful menstruation. Normally, there is pain. For some girls, it is very, very painful because of hormonal changes. So that's a medical word, dysmenorrhea, painful menstrual cycle. Normally, it is painful. This is more painful. Okay. This then once it is broken and everything stops, it has to regrow. That regrowth is known as proliferative phase. Okay, the broken down wall of the uterus starts to rebuild. New cells, new tissues, new blood capillaries all grow on the inner wall of the uterus. Patient. Okay, this happens due to the influence of estrogen hormone. Okay, keep this in mind. Finally, I will correlate everything. This takes place about 10 days. So you can think 4 days here, 10 days here. So 14 days. The next part of the cycle is known as secretory phase. That happens for another 14 days. So 4 plus 10 plus 14, 28 days. Secretory phase, this is the final phase. In this phase, the uterine wall thickens and the blood supply is increased. Glands on the uterine wall are activated and become very secretory. Okay. This happens due to the influence of progesterone hormone. It takes about 14 days. Actually, the uterus is waiting for the baby. uterus is waiting for the fetus to grow. That's why all the wall is built, and it's like breaking the house, then building the house, and this stage is like fixing light and decorating the house, painting the house, waiting for someone to come. But if that person doesn't come, again everything is broken and rebuilt and again painted. So like that only the uterine wall is breaking, and then another 10 days taken to rebuild it. After that 10 days, it is waiting for pregnancy. That's why all this secretion, blood vessels, everything is increased, waiting for the pregnancy. If pregnancy doesn't occur, then again, next menstrual cycle, everything is broken down. So every menstrual cycle is a chance of pregnancy. Actually, a female body, every month it tries to become pregnant. So for that pregnancy only, all this happens. So normal body temperature also rises during this phase. So normally they are hot. They are hot in the sense body temperature becomes hot during these last 14 days. So now come to the point, Putha, where we are going to correlate this and this. Okay, after correlating, I will give you all a 5 minutes break. Okay, we'll continue a little bit. 7, I said I will stop at 7, but I think we'll take some more time. Okay, I'll give a 5 minutes break and then continue. But first we'll finish this menstrual cycle headache. Okay, so first day. Now here, ovarian cycle, can you see? Until the 14th day, follicular stimulating hormone is growing the primary follicle into secondary follicle and into Graafian follicle. And on the 14th day, it is blasting and releasing the ova. Okay, so by the starting of this second phase, yeah, I'm talking about the ovarian phase. By the starting of the luteal phase, luteinizing hormone is coming. Can you see red color? So it is very high on the 14th day. That day only ovulation occurs. Then during that time, can you all remember, ovary secretes estrogen hormone. Can you see estrogen hormone? The last 14 days, ovary secretes progesterone hormone. Green color is the progesterone hormones level. Blue color is the estrogen hormones level. So now I have correlated the ovarian cycle with the hormone level. FSH, LS also, you all know that hormones. These are 4 hormones. 2 hormones from pituitary gland, 2 hormones from the ovary. Now I'm going to correlate that with the uterine cycle, the last one which we studied, uterine cycle. Mebalanna, this is the first 4 days. Wall is breaking. This is the uterus. Can you see the upper layer, not the whole uterus? Whole uterus won't come out. The outer layer of the uterus will break, and the blood and the pieces of the cells will come out. That is the menses blood. That is the actual menstrual phase. Then after 4 days, after all the walls are broken and damaged and everything is cleared, it will start rebuilding. Here, see the thickness of the wall reduces and then rebuilds. That is known as proliferative phase. That happens for another 10 days. So 4 days plus 10 days, exactly the building will be constructed on the ovulation day. Once the building is constructed, ovulation is happening, and what is our body trying to do? Trying for pregnancy, because after ovulation only pregnancy can occur. So this whole 14 days is waiting for the pregnancy. That is the secretory phase, another 14 days. Waiting for the pregnancy. If pregnancy doesn't occur, again everything starts from first. In the uterus, the walls break down. In the ovary, what happens? Again, one primary follicle will become secondary follicle and grow. So it's a continuous cycle. And look at the body temperature. Normal days, it is normal. From the 14th day onwards, can you see it is high? Okay, so those are the days best for pregnancy. So those days, the temperature is also high. The body is also ready for pregnancy. Ova is also released. It is waiting for semen to enter the vagina. If the semen enters the vagina, 90% chance is there for pregnancy. Not all the 14 days, first few days of the 14th day. So best day for sexual intercourse to happen and pregnancy to occur is from the 14th day to another 3 days. So you can say 14th to 18th day of a menstrual cycle of a female is the best period for her to become pregnant. Any other day, sperms or whatever goes into the vagina, no, nothing will happen. Only these few days are medically suitable for pregnancy. So I hope many of your basic doubts, okay, because Mara doubts these boys are happening. Okay. So I think many of your doubts are cleared by this. They ask every time when sexual intercourse happen, do the ladies become pregnant? Not any time, Buddha. In according to their menstrual cycle, only 4 to 5 days chance is there. And also there is a question, how do they know these dates? Buddha, every girl, like we have a calendar, every girl should maintain a menses calendar. When did their last menstrual cycle start? Okay, then when did the menses occur? When did the menses stop? They have normally parents advise the girls to keep that so that if there is any change, they know that there is a problem. Because soon after the marriage and all, if the menses stops, suddenly let's say 28 days passed and next 28 days, the next menstrual cycle didn't start. The main reason will be the girl would have become pregnant, but that pregnancy won't be detected in the blood. They can't do blood test or scan and see. Okay, but stopping of the menstrual cycle is a early sign of pregnancy. So like that, every girl has to maintain this menstrual cycle, chart for a menstrual cycle. I don't know how many of y'all are maintaining, but that's a normal thing. When did the menses start? When did it stop? Then from their calculation. So like that, they have a chart, so they know which day they are in. So any other doubts to be asked? Is the menses blood different from the actual blood? It is the same blood. Only thing is cells and tissues also will come now. So it will be more thicker and more clotted. So should we consider the first date of menstruation, last day? It is the first day where you see the blood. That is the starting of the menstrual cycle. And from there, most of nowadays, for many girls, because my wife is doing special treatment for this PCOD and all those things, majority of the community have PCOD. That is a lady-related disease. Because of PCOD, their menstrual dates are totally irregular. So for them, especially, we have to do a calculation. For normal people, first 5 days is the menstrual day. From there, you can do the calculation and check, next when will you get your menses. So at that days, you all don't put any parties or any special event so that you might miss it. So if a girl attains puberty, first 4 days of the uterine changes occur, and after 10 days, the ovarian changes occur, right? No, Buddha. Everything starts together. Okay, everything like starts together simultaneously. Both these cycles start together. Always they have a same gap. Will the ovulation happen during the cycle? Yes, Puta, during this cycle, Methane, at the exactly end of the follicular phase, starting of the luteal phase on the 14th day. Any other doubts to be asked? Yeah, I'll give you all a 5 minutes break. I'll keep the screen like this. You all go through it. And if you get any doubts, you all can ask me. And after that, we will continue. Don't worry, we have to continue a small, another more, few more parts. So major part, menstrual cycle headache is done. If you have any further doubts, please send me a message. For about 5 minutes, we'll take a small break and come back. Then there is a question, sir, why do girls vomit? In the movies and all, they will show, no? Once the girl become pregnant, they will vomit. That's hormonal changes after pregnancy. There are many hormones being secreted that causes nausea, vomiting, headache, and all those things. So then for girls after attaining puberty, they has two bleeding for a month. No, Puta, one bleeding only. Now it's like this. For a girl, let's say her first menses, inside the ovary, these things will be happening. While that is happening in the uterine cycle, uterus, this will happen. Then after the menses finish, in the ovary, this will happen. In the uterus, this will happen. So uterus and ovary together, it will happen. Then maybe let's say first uh, first time it was from the right ovary and the uterus. Next month it will be from the left ovary and the uterus. Okay, so always ovary will change. 1 month this ovary, the next month other ovary, but uterus is same. Can I get the recording of the full session? For now, the previous recordings are available for students who have purchased the classes. If possible, I'll try to get a idea from the institute whether the students who didn't come can they purchase Kela. For now, just not available. Inshallah, I'll inform you all. Okay, sorry for that. Then there is another question. So kind of an off and sad question. So is every month a baby being unalive in the scenes of this cycle? Yeah, but that's we don't need to worry. It's only the first half. 23 chromosomes only. It's not still a baby. If the sperms go in and then if something happens to the baby only, it's like a life. But now it's just a part of our body, like cutting the hair, and it's a part of our body. The egg is a part of the body. Once it fertilizes with the sperm only, it becomes a life. Then only it's important whether abortion is allowed or not. Foreign countries, there is a big thing going on, no? Then, so is it a problem if menses blood excretes only once for 2 months? That means most probably there is a PCOD condition. Normally, these nowadays girls are having that. Menses will go only once in 2 months. Either it's like this. One ovary is having a problem. So that ovary functions are not happening properly, and that month the hormones are not proper. Therefore, menstrual cycle is not happening. That can happen. Only one ovary is good. Other ovary is having a problem. Or else PCOD condition. PCOD is also in the ovary only. Can treat it. How the twin baby form? I will when doing the fertilization part. I'll tell you. So are both ovulation and uterine phases occur together? Yes, yes, they are occurring together in the same time period. So after how many days the fetus gets life? Normally they say around 40 days the heartbeat starts. Kela. Sorry, about 3 months. So must be all treated. All this is must to be treated. All those problems. Yes, better to treat it now. If it continues for a long time, better to go and consult a gynecologist or a herbal doctor, because I feel like herbal treatment is more safe when you, because when you go to the Western doctors, they give this. There's a pill called family control pill. Actually, it's not actually family control pill. It maintains the hormone, but that is the only medicine they have. But the root cause is not treated. So, but if you go to a proper Ayurveda doctor, not this Veda Mahatya and all, proper Ayurvedic or Unani doctor, they will diagnose and exactly treat the cause. Hurry. Next one, fertilization and implantation. During copulation, last week also we studied during sexual intercourse, when a male and a female get together and the male's erect penis is inserted into the female vagina. After that, ejaculation of sperms occur. What do these sperms do? There are in 1 milliliter, there are 1 million sperms. Then if 5 milliliters are ejaculated, 5 million sperms are swimming towards all over the uterus. And out of that, one will attach to the ova. If the ova is there, that one will attach to the ova in the fallopian tube. If the sperm finds the ova or the ovum traveling through the fallopian tube, the sperm attaches itself to the ova and fuses with it. That meeting of one out of a 5 million sperm and the one and only ova. From the female side, only one and only ova will come. From the male side, out of 5 to 6 million, one sperm will attach first to this, and 23 chromosomes of the sperm and the 23 chromosomes of the ova will join together to form the first 46 chromosome structure that is known as the zygote. First one cell structure is known as a zygote. That joining is known as fertilization. It happens in the upper part of the fallopian tube. When a sperm releases its genetic material, 23 chromosomes, into the ovum and fertilizes the ovum, this process is called fertilization. So you all can simply say, when the sperm having 23 chromosomes and the ova which is having 23 chromosomes fuse or join together, mixing the chromosomes, that is fertilization. Did you all understand the process? This occurs in the upper part of the fallopian tube in Sri Lankan syllabus. After 2018, this fallopian tube is a famous question, because you all know there was a big accusation going against one of the biggest doctor. I think all of you all know, don't need to hide the name, Dr. Shafi, one of the best doctors, but he was falsely accused by these racist politicians, bad politicians, and he was jailed. His family was, tortured, but finally, now he's totally released from everything, and government had to pay him compensation money also, because everything was false allegation. So that's why that day I was talking, even if all the doctors, engineers, everyone are perfect, if the politicians are not perfect, how much ever other perfect people are there, country won't go forward. So that's why we needed educated, understandable politicians who are not greedy only for money. Okay, so this time, clean swipe, parliament has been filled with more educated people, and we'll see what's happening in the future. So we foresee a bright, good, economically, politically, education-wise, health-wise, upliftment in Sri Lanka. We'll see how things are going on. So we all have to be a part of the next new Sri Lanka, which is going to be started from the 21st, because first parliamentary meeting will be on the 21st, Thursday. So we'll see, that is going to be a changing day. After fertilization occurs, the ova is referred to as the zygote. Then the zygote slowly descends down the fallopian tube. With the picture, I will show it to you. While descending down, while coming down, it undergoes mitosis. Why? One cell has to become two cells have to become 4 cells, and then it grows into a multicellular structure called the morula. First, morula. Then morula disintegrates and the tissue of the uterine wall, endometrium, and sinks into it and gets deposited in the uterine wall. With the picture, I will explain this clearly. For now, we'll quickly read it. This phenomena is known as implantation. So fertilization happens in the upper part of the fallopian tube. Implantation happens in the uterine wall, in the uterus. Okay, it takes about 7 days for zygote to travel from the fallopian tube and then get implanted in the endometrium. I will explain everything after a 2-minute break. The prayers are going on. Just look at this picture and have an idea. I will explain everything clearly to you all. Okay, Puta. So let's go into the discussion. Can you see? Maybe this is the 14th, 15th day of the menstrual cycle. Why? Ova has been released and the ova is traveling. And that day itself, copulation, sexual intercourse has happened, and the sperms have released the sperm. The penis has released the male reproductive system has released the sperms. The 5 million sperms are running here and there, and out of that, one fellow attaches this. So this is fertilization. So that is day 0, the day where the zygote is formed. So then, after that, 1 day, mitosis is happening. Cells are increasing. 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5, 6. On the 7th day, now when it is developing, we call it morula. And then the morula goes and gets embedded inside the uterine wall. Now this is the endometrium. The uterine wall is known as endometrium. The fetus, this morula will get embedded into the endometrium. Then we call it as the embryo. Then from there onwards, it will grow, and finally it will attach to the uterus through the placenta, and the umbilical cord will develop. I will show the pictures. So that is how things happen. So development of the fetus. After implantation of the zygote or the morula, it is called the fetus or the embryo. Further cell division occurs and the fetus starts to grow. In about 6 weeks, a protective membrane called the embryonic membrane develops, and then fluid gets collected within the embryonic membrane. This fluid is called the embryonic fluid. Okay, so initially there is no fluid, but later this membrane grows around the baby, around the fetus, and that is getting filled with one fluid called the embryonic fluid. Do you know when the mother is going to give birth, first this will break. What do we call that? Water bag breaking. Then she will feel the water coming out through the vagina. Then they will rush her to the labor room. Okay. After that, after the water bag breaks, the embryonic fluid will come out, and after that only baby will come. Someone is asking, does the child have a tail? So when we are small, we have a post-anal small tail. Okay. Then when with the growth, that gets covered, and we have only a small bone piece. The fetus is sunk in the fluid. The place where the embryonic membrane connects to the uterine wall is called the placenta. This is the wall of the mother to which it is connected is known as the placenta. The thing which is connecting the placenta and the baby is known as the umbilical cord. It is the umbilical cord. This is a good developed baby. Exchange of material between the mother and the fetus happens via a special cord known as the umbilical cord, which is present within the placenta. All the nutrients, oxygen, waste, virus, bacteria, that means diseases, and other materials are exchanged between the mother and the fetus through the umbilical cord, except one thing, blood. Blood of the mother and the blood of the baby doesn't mix, because mother's blood group will be totally different, baby's blood group will be totally different. Then how does the baby develop blood? The baby's blood will be produced by the baby itself from the nutrients which are taken from the mother. From the mother, the nutrients, the food, the needed glucose, fructose, galactose, maltose, lactose, sucrose, proteins, vitamins, everything will be coming. And from the baby's body only, his blood will be produced. So remember, this was there in a past paper question. Which of the following material does not cross this umbilical cord barrier from the mother to the baby? So many thought diseases. No, Buddha, if a mother gets a disease, baby can get that disease if the virus or the bacteria goes through the umbilical cord. So diseases can be transferred, waste, oxygen, nutrients, gases can be transferred, but blood is not mixed between the mother and the baby. When the childbirth occurs, at that time there is a small mixing. Other than that, during pregnancy, blood doesn't mix. So the blood type is depending on the nutrients given by the mother. No. Blood type is depending on the genetic of the baby, and the nutrients is just like a building block. Okay. They will help to produce the blood. But what type of blood is decided by the baby's genetics. So then how we get father's blood group? No, we don't get the father's blood group. Okay. It's not a must that we might get we are getting the father's blood group. We may get, now let's say father is B positive, I also can be B positive, but it's not a must. I can be even A positive. But between the father and mother's blood group, there is a connection how we get our blood group. Okay. It might not be the same, but there is a pattern. Okay. So there are like few choices. Out of that, baby can be any of this blood group. But the genetic is inherited by the parents. Yeah. Now it's like this. If mother is A, father is B, child can be either A, B, or AB. So if baby gets AB, it's totally opposite from mother and father. Understood? So like that, there are many chances. In grade 13, I mean A level, you will be studying how the blood group is decided. There are a lot of factors. Okay, it's not directly mother's exact photocopy or father's exact photocopy. There are methods how from the mother certain genes will come, from the father certain genes will come. Mixture of their genes will give the new blood group. So if mother is addicted to drugs, will it harm the baby? It will also be transferred like food. Yes. That's why smoking, pregnant mother should never ever smoke or stay in a smoking place. Why? That smoke will go to the mother's blood. From the mother's blood, it will go to the baby. There are some ladies who are using drugs. Those ladies, if they become pregnant, the child is also getting the drug effect. Those children are born with many diseases. Okay. So blood doesn't transfuse, others all transfer from the baby to the mother to the baby. So removal of the fetal excretory product and carbon dioxide is also done through this code. So whatever waste the baby has, that will send to the mother's blood, and from the mother's blood, it will be excreted. The carbon dioxide waste gases also same like that. Blood is not exchanged between the mother and the fetus. Keep that in mind. Only during parturition, the mother and fetal blood mix. Until then, the mother and the fetal blood doesn't mix. Keep this in mind. During parturition, when the baby is coming out, only when it detaches and come, only mother's and baby's blood will mix at that time. If smoking goes to the mother's blood, it won't affect the baby, right? Because blood is not exchanged. Blood ki anne, the blood cells, those are not exchanged. But the nutrients present in the blood are the all. Now here, didn't you read this? All the nutrients, oxygen, waste, virus, bacteria, and other material. So inside this only medicine, drugs, everything comes. So all that will go to the baby. But the blood is not needed to be, it should like, blood vessels can be there. Baby's blood vessels will be here. In the placenta, this only happens. From the mother, all the nutrients is going to the baby's blood. Except the blood cells, nutrients, waste, like that. Nicotine also can do. Yeah. So blood is the transport medium. Okay. Blood is the transport medium. Good. I hope you all are clear about it now. So this is the growth of the baby. Now certain books give certain different classifications. So I just gave you all a rough idea. The baby is growing. Little by little, the growth occurs. So in our syllabus, they have given few things. First trimester, first 3 months, what are the changes? Second 3 months, what are the changes? The next 3 months, what are the changes? I want you all to study that. Okay? Because even in the medical books itself, there are some contradiction. 14th week, this will happen. 15th week, it will happen. Week by week itself, they have contradiction. But in our syllabus, they have given 3 month, 3 month, 3 month. So what you can do is just have a rough idea in the first 3 months what is happening, second 3 months, and the third 3 months. Okay, please go through it. It's just a memorizing part, so I'm just skipping that. So the heartbeat will start, the hands will start working, the brain will start working, the nervous system will get activated, the hair will start to grow. Okay, normally, initially the body will be small, head will be big. But later, the body will grow and head to body ratio will be okay. And when the baby is going to be born, It is normally 3 kilograms. If the baby is less than 3 kilograms, it is less weight, malnutrition. Okay. If it is more than 3 kilograms, no problem. Sometimes it gets stuck when coming out of the vagina. Okay. So 3 and little bit more or less is okay. So the doctors will be doing the scan and checking all those things. Every 3 months, the doctors will take a scan and see the growth of the baby. If some parts are not grown, they will give medicine to the mother, vitamins and minerals, and tell the mother to eat good food and give good advices. Tell the mother to do some small exercises. If the baby is always very weak, or if the baby is like excessively big, then they will tell the mother to do certain things. So we have three trimesters. Just study those three and see. If you have any doubts, you all can send me a message. The main important one, come Baba. After the 9 months, okay? So by the end of the 9 month, okay, when it is close to childbirth, head of the fetus turns towards the vagina. Earlier it will be up, and now it will slowly turn towards the vagina. This is the vagina. See how small this is, and compared to that, how big the baby is. Okay, so now this is the uterus wall, womb. Now this has to enlarge and allow this baby to come out through the vagina. After the completion of the gestation period, pregnancy period, 280 days, 40 weeks, 9 months, the fetus is slowly pushed outside through the vagina by the contraction of the muscles of the uterus. Further contraction of the uterine wall leads to disconnection of the placenta and the associated tissue. First, the water bag will break and the water will come. Then mother is rushed to the labor room. Then the doctors or the nurse will say to push the baby. So the mother has to, because I have been to the labor ward in our medical schools, we have been there during labor. They shout. Mothers get so angry that if they are shouting too much, we try to keep the mouth, we keep the hand and close the mouth. No, they will even bite your hand until it bleeds. They have so much of pain. Okay, normally they say, some people say it's like breaking 200 bones. Some people say not that much, but 2 to 3 bones are like broken. Now, sometimes certain places, the head will come and get stuck here. After that, it won't come. Then the mother has to strain, and use so much. They say that even if I die at this time, no problem, Kiela. That much amount of effort is given. And the nurses also, they will help. They will be supportive. Some places they will scold. Okay, so if the baby is not coming, then they will cut from here and take the baby. That is only cesarean, C-section. Okay, how will the mother push? That like when you go to the toilet, you will press, and that kind of a motion only you have to give. What if they didn't come? They will forceps the baby, right? Yes. First thing, if the head gets stuck and if it doesn't come, then they will put the forceps pen or the suction cup and they will pull the baby. But certain places, it is very unable to take the baby. Then immediately they will take to the operation theater, and okay, then they will do the operation, and they will remove the baby. That is cesarean. Okay, sometimes now when it's coming through the vagina, it will tear the vagina and come. So nowadays there is a procedure. They put it automatically. The doctors itself put a cut in the vagina. So easily, little bit lesser pain, the baby will come out. After that, they will stitch this. Okay. So don't mistake that cut for cesarean. Okay. Cesarean means cutting this from the outer stomach to the womb. They cut and they take the baby. Here they are cutting, that is normal for normal delivery also, that small cut is put so that the baby doesn't tear. What kind of situation do they cut to take the baby out? When the baby is stuck, or when this umbilical cord is wrapped around his neck. When he comes out, his neck will be compressed by the umbilical cord. Those situations, or else if the mother's diabetes is very high, or when the pressure of the mother is very high, what will they, if it's stuck in between now? Which one I don't know. This if the baby is stuck here, they will try the maximum to take the baby. But if it is not coming, then they will do the cesarean, and from this side they can put the hand and pull. No, when they cut the stomach and open the stomach, the doctors can put the hand to the body and they can pull. Okay, so if the baby's head is coming first, it is easier. Okay, it will come like streamlined body, it will come out. But if the legs come first, it's a big another struggle. Why? When you pull the leg, baby will spread the hand. Then hand will be stuck inside. Then there is a big fight. Sometimes some people are there 5 hours, 6 hours in the labor room, shouting, shouting, crying. You ask your mother how many hours they were there in the labor room. Okay, because even for my wife's pregnancy, I was closer to the labor room. That was during Corona season and all. Big headache. Okay, so for some of our patients during university, we have been there during their pregnancy and all. It's a life. I don't know. Once you see a labor room situation, you will be fed up of life. That kind of a situation. Okay, so that day also I was telling you, no. So much of pain your parents are undergoing. Okay, so much of pain your parents are mother, especially the mother is undergoing. Many were saying me, sir, we don't have a motivation to study. I told them, don't need any motivation. Don't need this and to trade sports or other things for motivation. Look at your mother's face. Okay, she's the one who underwent so much of pain. Okay, you will never imagine this pain in your life. Okay, you will never imagine this pain in your life. So much of pain. Okay, it's like for 9 months you're carrying a big load in the stomach. The some people's spinal cord gets bent. They can't eat properly. They can't sleep properly. For that 9 months, so much of trouble, and in the end, the ninth month, maximum pain is given, and the baby is taken. Okay, so much of pain and all you gave, but she didn't just throw you out. No, there are some mothers who throw the children in the garbage dump. Okay, in India and all, if you go to the garbage dump, sometimes babies will be there. Why? Unwanted pregnancies and certain illegal pregnancies and all those things. They do abortion or they kill the child. When the child is born, they throw it. But your mother, father, they did not do that to you. No, you're alive and you're looking at the screen, and now you're studying and staying. You're studying now. That means you're alive. That means for 15 years they have been providing you food, and just imagine the pain they have undergone to bring you up. So what is the gift you're going to give them? Are they asking you for money? Nowadays, they are not asking you for money. The only best thing which you can give them is a good name and a good result. Good name in the sense when people say your child is very good, very obedient, that's a great achievement for the parents. And when you get a good results, that is the best achievement which you can give your parents. Just imagine the day the results come, okay, Okay, the day the results come, if your mother is crying out of sadness, if your father is upset because of your result, imagine that day the how much pain you're trying to give them. But same time, imagine if you get a 9A and if you have got best results, your mother will be calling everyone happily. She will be saying, my son, see, will and mama edutatan, and mama edutata, mage puta gatta, balanna ko 9A gatta. She will be the happiest person in the life, in the world. So imagine of those days. And then if you feel sleepy while studying, think of all this. Then all your sleep will fly away. Keep these motivations. Why should you study? Study. First thing, if you study, your life will be better. But that you can't feel now. No. When you study well, it is good for your life, your future. Education will give you the benefit the most. But that we can't feel now. But the thing which you can feel is your mother's happiness and your mother's father's happiness, or your mother's father's sadness. So for a person who has undergone so much of torture to bring you to this world, what is the gift you're going to give? That is the one and only question I'm asking you today. What is your O-level gift which you're going to give your parents? Is it a 9A or some WWW results? Huh? Think of that. So make this day a life-changing day. If you did not have any motivation to study, write this and keep this as a motivation to study. Okay. So keep that in mind. And for you, for your parents, and there will be many people who are against you inside the family itself. Many people would have spoke bad about your parents, spoke bad about you. Those people, for those people, your result should be a shock to them. Heart attack வந்து சாவட்டும் அவன், no problem. Okay, let your result be a shock to them. Let your results be a slap on them. Because in my personal life, I congratulate my haters, because in my family, my mother was scolded by many people for putting me in an international school, okay, for doing a lot of things. When I went to university, I was 20 years. When I was going to university itself, they came and scolded my parents. Why did you put into university? He will get corrupted. He will become that. He will go on Udghoshana. But now all the fellows who told like that, they come to my clinic to get medicine. Or if they have some money problem, they come to take money. Now they come like dogs. But at one period, they used to scold me, my mother. One specific auntie is there. Okay, when I go to their home, when I come back, I'll be coming crying, because she will make that university and all, she will put us down, like she will, that in Tamil we say, Kevala Paditi Anupura. She will scold so much about university. Okay. And our mother and father also will get shocked. Why are these people doing like this, Kela? So I really thank them now. Because of them only, I took so much of anger to me and I studied. Okay. So maybe in your families also those kind of peoples are there. So make your O-level results the first slap on their face. Make your A-level result the second slap on their face. Your university entrance should be the third slap on their face. Your first car should be the first slap on their face, other slap on their face. Your new house, your job, your occupation, your degree, everything will be slap on their face. Whatever words they tell you to hurt you, they will regret each and every word when you achieve. Okay. I have first-hand, personally, I have experienced this. Okay. And for the people who hurt your parents or my parents, I will think, with your success, hurt them, not with your words. Whatever you tell them, they won't listen for them, because they are hurting many people. If someone hurts them, it's not a big thing for them. By words or by physically, hurting them is no use. But by your achievement, that hurts them a lot. That hurts them a lot. Okay. So anyways, let's go to the next one. So this is how the baby is initially pushed. Okay, through a small vagina hole, the full baby comes out. First the head comes. It's a struggle for the baby also. Baby also can die. Mother also can die. Any moment the baby can die. Any moment the mother also can die. And once the baby comes out, the umbilical cord will come with the baby. The doctor ligates or cuts the umbilical cord, and after some time the placenta also should come. If the placenta doesn't come, the doctor will put the hand through the vagina and somehow try to take the placenta. Okay, so in real life, when a girl undergoes this pregnancy, only they know. If the baby is not coming, the doctors will put the hand and pull the baby through the vagina only. Everything should be done. Okay, so that's very hard for the doctors also, very uncomfortable for the patient also. But what to do, for the sake of the baby, they have to do all those things. So when will the umbilical cord connect to the baby? When now the baby implants, no, we studied the implantation. Morula will come and get implanted to the uterus wall. At that moment itself, that will be connected. And when the embryonic sac and the embryonic fluid is getting filled, the umbilical cord also will grow along with that. So can ever mother possibly die in this moment? Yes. Nowadays, because of medical development, many mothers are not dying. Because ancient days, there was no cesarean. No. When a baby gets stuck in the womb, they will try to pull the baby and take. Other than that, either baby will die or mother will die, or both will die. Many situations are there. Now with medical advancement only, you quickly do the surgery and take the baby out. Because of the cesarean surgery, many mothers' lives have been saved. But earlier days, during parturition, during childbirth, it's a life or death situation. Either mother will come alive, or the baby will come alive, or luckily both will come alive, or else both will be dead. Only one will come alive or both will be dead. That kind of situations used to happen a lot in the ancient days. But now with the medical involvement, it has been reduced. Because however they will cut and chop and take the baby and the mother, they try the maximum to save the baby and the mother. Even after this, many mothers are dying or many babies are dying, okay, due to infection, that and this. So that is the story of how the baby is coming out through the vagina. Here, an animated video is there. Then the umbilical cord will be coming. After that, you cut the umbilical cord, and after that, placenta will come. And after that, only mother is relaxed. Because once the baby is taken, baby will be given to the pediatrician doctor. But gynecologist will be more concerned about the mother. Where is the placenta? Placenta should come. If the placenta doesn't come, doctor will put a very big gloves and then put the hand into the vagina until the womb and slowly try to pull the placenta and take. Because if the placenta doesn't come, a very bad infection will occur and mother can die due to that infection. If even after putting the hand and trying to take the placenta, if it is not coming, they put a machine and scrape the wall and take the placenta. Even if it doesn't come, then they cut the womb and clear the placenta, because if the placenta stays, it's a very dangerous condition. Infections can occur. So here you can see the cutting of the umbilical cord. Therefore, the fetus is expelled or pushed out through the vagina. And remember, oxytocin hormone helps in pushing the baby out. This process is known as childbirth or parturition. Normally, this happens in the labor room. In the hospital, we call the labor room, where mother gives birth to the baby. All the equipments are there in the labor room. This is for normal birth. If it is cesarean, from the labor room, they have a close by operation theater. They transfer to the operation theater. After parturition, the umbilical cord that connects the placenta and the fetus is cut, and they put a knot, or else it will start bleeding. So they cut and they put a knot. After the later, the remaining of the placenta and the other materials are also expelled out. After that, only gynecology doctor will be happy. When the child is born, mother is happy, but doctor is not happy. Doctor waits until the umbilical cord, placenta, everything comes out fully. After it comes out fully, only the gynecology doctor will be happy. Then only mother's life is saved. Yes. Then next one. The total human reproduction process is completely regulated by hormones. This can be seen in both males. Male sex hormone regulates the sex. In female, progesterone, estrogen, LSH, LH, FSH, and oxytocin. Those are involved. Then someone is asking, sir, what about abortion? Abortion means natural abortion is there, artificial abortion is there. That means before the 9 months, let's say 3 months or 4 months, mother meets an accident. Due to the accident, there was a knock on the womb. Then the baby will die, and naturally sometimes the baby will come out. Or else baby will be dead. When they do the scan only, they will understand, and then they will have to artificially, they will have to put some medicine and remove the baby. That is abortion. Sometimes certain people, no accident or anything, but they don't want the pregnancy, illegal pregnancy. They have not got married. Somehow, through a secret relationship, they have got a baby. Okay, then what will happen? They go to certain doctors. Live abortions are illegal, but some doctors, they do it for money. What will they do? They will put some equipments into the vagina until the womb and pull the pieces of the parts of the baby. Sometimes when pulling, small hand pieces, leg pieces, like that, it will come. Like that only they do the abortion. Okay, and it's very risky also if you don't do it in a proper way. Then there is another question. Sir, then are only women are gynecologists mostly? No, Buddha. I have seen around 50% female doctors, 50% male doctors, also gynecologists. So then you will be wondering, how will a male doctor put the hand inside the vagina of a female? In medical, that is all very simple. Okay. So when you go to medical college, you will understand there that gender role and everything is not there. Sir, can a girl die when she does abortion? Yes. Illegal abortion, because natural birth, our body is also supporting. But abortion, our body is trying maximum to keep the baby, but we are forcefully pulling the baby. So pieces of the baby will break and come. So that is very, very dangerous. Placenta also won't come, because naturally when happening, after 9 months, body will itself send the placenta away. But now we are pulling everything and taking. Okay, so therefore, abortion is very risky. If the baby dies inside the stomach, inside the womb, sorry, I can't use the word stomach, inside the womb, then then body will support, because it's a dead structure, body will try to send it out. Then the abortion will be easy. But if it is a live baby, someone wants to destroy a live baby before the stomach becomes big and all, they want to quickly remove it so people won't say anything. Then only this problem occurs. Many people die during abortion, or they get infection and later die due to the infection. So FSH hormone, LH hormone, testosterone hormone, estrogen hormone, progesterone hormone, all those are involved in the reproductive system. This is related to male sperm production only. But FSH, LH, estrogen, progesterone, menstrual cycle, uterine cycle, ovarian cycle, everything is related to that. What is the placenta now? Why are you all asking? Here in this picture, may balanna. The place where the baby attaches to the mother's womb. First implantation will occur. No? That implantation place, from there the baby will grow, and that embryonic membrane will come and fluid will get filled. No, so that connecting part, the part where the baby is connected to the mother's womb through the umbilical cord, and this is the placenta. Maybe placenta. So that also with the childbirth has to come out. The wall of the uterus will be wall of the uterus. That extra growth part, baby is a extra growth. Umbilical cord is a extra growth. Placenta is a extra growth. All that with the childbirth should be expelled from the body. Understood? Therefore, endocrine system, that is the hormonal system, endocrine glands are the hormonal glands, are important in the human reproductive system. I hope you all are clear. That is the one related to human reproductive system. And then these STDs are there, sexually transmitted disease. Okay, there are sexually inherited diseases that you will study in the last lesson, 20th lesson, inheritance. So going to male gynecologist is prohibited in some religion, right? No, there is nothing like that. Okay. If a male gynecologist is available, if a proper female gynecologist is not available, then you have to go to them. Okay. Like females are more comfortable with female gynecologists, but in certain places, if the main gynecologist is the main person who has to do the surgery or the abortion or whatever child delivery, then he has to do it. Okay. So there, no one says anything related to religion or gender or anything, because this is life-saving situation. Okay. Sexually transmitted diseases. This is not inherited, not from because of the grandfather, it came to the grandmother, then from grandmother to the child, the grandfather to the child. That is not inherited. This is when a male has sexually transmitted disease, STD, like AIDS. When a female has copulation or intercourse, from the male, it will infect the female. Or from the female, it will infect the male. This is between the partners. And later, when the mother becomes pregnant, through the mother's blood, baby also can get infected. But this is not inherited. So always keep in mind, this gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, and AIDS are not inherited. They are transferred or transmitted. That's why we call it sexually transmitted diseases, short form STD. Here, the main thing you should remember is gonorrhea and syphilis are caused by bacteria. Herpes and AIDS caused by virus. These are very common questions. So the last part with this, I'm promising that I will stop it. Okay. So gonorrhea is caused by Neisseria gonorrhea bacteria. If you can't remember this Neisseria, remember Nazria gonorrhea. I don't know. My students were saying that there is an actress called Nazria. So they will remember Nazria has gonorrhea. Okay, don't go and tell this to other people because they might be fans of Nazria. So Neisseria gonorrhea, that is the name of the bacteria. So when that happens, what will happen? When someone gets this disease, abnormal secretions from the sexual gland, different secretions will come. If it's a female, their fallopian tube will get blocked. Okay, pain. But this can be treated. Okay, by giving antibiotics and all can be treated. If not treated, can result in blindness and lameness. Okay, so gonorrhea is a dangerous sexually transmitted disease. Okay, then syphilis. That is caused by Treponema pallidum. Treponema pallidum. You have to remember the name of the bacteria. Lameness means like one side paralyzed, like something like paralyzed. One side becoming weak. Okay. Legs can become lame. Then you can't carry the leg. Then from one leg only you will be walking. Lameness. After 3 months, painless blisters occur on the sexual organ. Like pimples will be coming on the, if it's a male, in the penis, or in the female around the vagina and all, they will get. And then from that bad smell will be coming. Pus will be coming. After 6-7 months, fever, pain, pain in the throat, infection, everything will come. At that time, you have to treat it. Can be treated. If not treated, it will spread to the other organs, and other organ failure also can happen. So syphilis and gonorrhea are related to bacteria. So bacteria diseases easily can be treated. So proper treatment should be given. Some people, because of the shame, because of the guilt, because if they go, the doctors will see, then they will know that he had a very bad relationship. How do AIDS and all this spread? Now I'm openly telling you, because in many countries this is a problem. Now there are like people who have this sexual intercourse for money. Okay, so those people, most of those kind of people, the prostitutes mostly, are having these diseases. So one woman is enough to spread this disease to about 100 men. Then from that men, it will spread to their wives. Okay, so therefore, you have to be very careful with all these things, because with the modern world, now in Sri Lanka and all, even in Sri Lanka, there are many problems related to all this. In some foreign countries, it is very, very, very common. So you have to be very, very careful. So protective methods should be used, medicine should be taken, those kind of approaches should be avoided. Then next one, related to virus, herpes and AIDS. So are these diseases transmitted if one partner have that certain disease before? Yes, yes. Now let's say one girl and a boy married. Okay, boy got AIDS or some disease. When he checks, already maybe the girl was having that. From the girl, the boy got it due to sexual activities. They got it. Maybe like that. So when one person is infected, whoever has sexual intercourse or sexual relationship with that person will be infected. Then herpes, caused by herpes simplex virus. So this virus short form is HSV. Because AIDS, the short form for the disease is AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency virus. The acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, the virus which is causing that is HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. So HIV causes AIDS, HSV causes herpes. Very easy to remember. HIV is the virus and AIDS is the disease. Yes, Buta. AIDS is the disease. Acquired immunodeficiency is the name of the disease. It is caused by HIV virus. So HIV is the name of the virus. So some people without knowledge, they say he has got HIV disease. He has got infected with HIV virus and got AIDS disease. That is how you have to say. So this herpes, highly painful blisters will appear in the sexual organs. Painful pimples like. Why do people want to do sexual intercourse if it is so painful and risky? I don't have an answer for that, because that is like in other countries. When you go to other countries, you will understand. Now you all are adults, so you all know there are men waiting for all these, what can I call this, dirty habits. There are many, even big rich businessmen men are waiting for all these dirty habits. Okay, so that is the human nature, how we are. So religion, country rule, culture, that is only saving us from all these bad things. Because if there is no rules, everything goes havoc. Highly painful blisters appear on the sexual organs, then inactivates the nervous system. Our nerves get damaged, can cause very, very serious problems. The virus is deeply rooted it won't kill you, but no permanent cure. So until death, you will be suffering from nervous damages, sexual organ diseases. So it's a big problem. Until death, problem will be there. No exact cure, but I have, I think I told you, yesterday night until 1:30, I was discussing related to certain Unani medicines and Unani treatment with Indian doctors. So that's why today morning I was unable to do the class. I was having a headache. So that's why today morning we started the 8 o'clock class at 9 o'clock. So, but when I was doing that conversation with them, it was so like, scientific. I didn't feel the sleep or anything, but after in the morning only I got that headache. So when I was discussing with that, then they said even sexually transmitted virus diseases have been cured by herbal, especially Unani medicines. So I was shocked because Western doctors, they say no cure. Now even I'm teaching the students, not fatal, but no permanent cure killer. But in herbal medicine, there is a cure. But it depends on how serious that person, how much he is infected in the initial stages or in the middle stages, it is treatable. Western medicine, I don't know what the doctor's opinion will be, but in herbal medicine, doctor said it has been treated. Even AIDS, because we consider that if God has created a disease, there is a cure for that. Only thing is we have not researched on that. Okay, our technology is not advanced to find the disease. Other than that, we cannot say there is no cure. But here they are saying no, it is fatal. Because of AIDS, people can die and it cannot be cured. Symptoms may appear 20 to 15 years after the infection. That is the problem here. When a person gets infected, now let's say he's having a wrong sexual intercourse with a wrong person, he will get the disease, but the disease will be silent inside his body, destroying many parts of his body. But the symptoms will appear after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years. For some people, after 15 years, then the virus is deeply rooted. Then it is very hard to cure it. Okay, it suppresses the immune system. Our immunity is only saving us from all the diseases. HIV virus will attack our immune system. That's why we call it human immunodeficiency. It makes us deficient from the immune system. Human immunodeficiency virus. Okay. So when someone is infected with AIDS, with HIV virus, and he gets AIDS, he will get all the other diseases. If he goes closer to a person who is having phlegm, he will catch that phlegm. Why? His immune system is very low, very powerless. So wherever he goes, he will attract the diseases, and due to that, he will die. So it's a very dangerous thing. So for now, Western people, they say there is no cure. So we have to be very, very careful. And remember, this virus-related sexually transmitted diseases, not only due to sexual activities, due to blood transfusion also, this can occur. For example, if a HIV infected person's blood is there on a blade, let's say this is a blade, and from that blade, our hand gets cut, then his HIV blood might, 1 or 2 drops might mix with our blood, and we also can get HIV. So without sexual intercourse also, this HIV can be transmitted from person to person. So did you all know that they were saying that once a HIV infected person gets to know that he is infected with HIV, he will become fed up with life. Okay, because according to Western doctors, they say you don't have a cure, you will die. Then they get more fed up. They said some people, they used to prick themselves, take their blood out, and slowly keep it in pins and prick others, because they are fed up of life. They got a incurable disease. They want others also to get it. So at one season, it was very famous. Even in the cinema halls, they used to keep needles infected with HIV. Some people will come watch the movie and then keep a needle in the seat which is infected with HIV. So the next person who comes and sits there, if that needle pricks, he will also be infected with HIV. That's why from the government, they said, boys, when you go to the barber, you all know, no? They finally, after cutting their hair by a blade, they shave the sides to take the sideburn and all. Now from the government, it is compulsory to use new blades for each person. Earlier, they used to use one blade for 4 or 5 people. After this HIV problem, now let's say first person who comes and shaves the beard or uses this blade, he had HIV and a small part of his skin got cut and blood is here. Second person, third person, when they are shaving, if there is a clot and if this blood goes to the second and third person, they will get infected. Poor innocent people will get infected with HIV. So from the government, they said hereafter when you're shaving the salons compulsory, they have to use new blades. So whenever you go to cut your hair, finally after cutting to shape the sides and all, they use the blade. When they are using the blade, see whether they open that equipment and take a new blade. They break because if you use one full blade, it is a waste of money. They break the blade into half. They use one half for one person and the other half for the other person. So check whether they are using a new one. Okay, because sometimes certain people to save that 1 rupee, 2 rupee, maybe that blade is costing 10 rupees. To save that 5 rupee, because they are not using even the full blade, half blade only. To save that 5 rupee, they will try to use the old blades. So just check that, especially for boys. Okay, Hariputa. Then with that, I think we have successfully come to a conclusion. So I told you I'll stop in 1 hour, but I think it has gone more than 1 hour and 45 minutes. For me, it's not an issue. If I have taken excess of your time, I am really sorry for that. But I don't think that every minute which you are here would have been worth. So successfully, we have completed our one of the most important seminars for grade 10 reproductive system seminar. So success is not easy, and certainly it is not for the lazy people. So if you want success, you have to work. You have to work hard plus work smart. Okay, so keep today. If you are not motivated, I have given enough of points for you to get motivated. Make today the best day of your life, life-changing day, and put a new schedule, put a timetable, put a study timetable, and start work now. And also, I'm telling you one thing, Buddha, it's time you settle with your proper teacher. Okay, because sometimes even in grade 10, you're shifting, jumping from one teacher to the other teacher to the other teacher. But now, second grade 10, third term is high time you settle with one teacher, especially for the main subjects like science, maths, English literature, accounting. Okay, fix one teacher. Go to all the other free seminars, but your one teacher should be your main guide, because different teachers have different patterns. Okay, one teacher's approach will be different from another teacher's approach. So in grade 10 third term, decide who's your grade 11 teacher. Until your O level, who's your teacher. So whenever you're selecting the teacher, always select, does he or she have a plan? What is their previous results? What are the seniors telling about them? Will they cover the syllabus on time? Will they do papers? Think of all that. Ask the teacher the plan. Okay, normally for me, I give the plan to the students. This is how we do it. Now for my grade 11 students, once you come to grade 11, I'll tell you. All the lessons will be covered in class, except one lesson, system, that will be happening as a special seminar. Like your reproductive system seminar, one paid seminar will be there in grade 11, system lesson seminar. All the others will be covered in the this one, normal theory classes. For each lesson, PDF tudes and printed tudes will be given for the online students. It will be posted. So like that, I have a plan. So like that, check with all the teachers. How is their plan? How is their past results? How is their teaching pattern? Do you understand? That teacher might be the best teacher in the world, but if you can't understand his or her teaching method, then no use. You and the teacher should have a connection. You should understand what that teacher is saying. Now, sometimes some students come to my class and they say, so you're always using English, but my class teacher is using Tamil and English, Sinhala and English. I like that method, but I don't know that much of Tamil and that much of Sinhala to explain scientifically. So I will be using English. So in my class, that is the method. So if you are a person who is adapted to the Sinhala and Tamil mixed with English, then better go for a tuition class also in that pattern. Okay, for that kind of a student, my class won't be suitable. But I'm telling you, learn science fully in English. Small Sinhala words. I am also using many Sinhala words, Sinhala songs. Can you all remember? Recently we studied, no? Next week, you all will be studying. Grade 10s will be studying. Activity series, periodic table. There we use some words. But like that, there are different patterns. So settle with your teacher. Okay. Be confident about that teacher. Grade 11, start from first. While doing the grade 11, do the grade 10 revision and try to get the best results possible. And when you all are coming to grade 11, I'm giving you all a special offer. All my grade 11 students, when you pay for the grade 11 class, you can come freely for the grade 10 full year. That means when you purchase January grade 10, you can come freely. When you purchase February grade 11, grade 10 February month, full month, you can come freely. Free class. Okay, you can come and join with the new grade 10s. You all also can study. It will be a superb revision. Okay, this has helped many students because when you're coming to grade 10, some of the grade 11 lessons you will forget because that is far, the time gap is big. So when they come to the grade 10 revision, they are getting a double, triple revision. So that is really superb, and I'm giving this totally freely for my students. Even if you want the recording, I will be giving the recording freely. No extra money, only payment for grade 11. So that is a superb opportunity. Grade 11 students can come to the class, watch the recording, and freely come to the grade 10 class or freely watch the recording of grade 10 class. So inform your friends also about this because from grade 11, you cannot play the fool. Fix your teachers, fix your focus, fix your goals, and work hard for this. So all the very best, not for your grade 10 third term, all the very best for your O levels. Thank you and good night to all of you. Okay, Buddha, there are so much these emotional messages. Mashallah, I'm really happy. Okay, I hope even if you didn't understand the lesson today, I hope you understood the pain which your mother underwent. That will itself make you a better person in life. Okay, then students, PDF, I will be putting it in the group. Give me some time. Thank you for joining the session. Please spread awareness about this to your friends and also please inform them about my classes and bring them also to our classes. That will be a great help which you do to your friend. Okay, good night. Have a nice day, all of you. And please pray for me and for my family and for my future achievement in my medical field. Thank you. Have a good day to all of you.